Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Telios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teliosresearch.com.
Hi, I'm William Stewart. Welcome back to our study on the Greek language and learning it to better study your Bible. Opens up so many doors to be able to look at the original text and words to better know God and better live an obedient Christian life. So welcome. It's a fun study. We've covered verse 1. Let's start verse 2. Again, I'll encourage you to have your grammar open and to study throughout the week the points that I'm making. I'll try to cover some grammar each time as well as the text and a little bit of theology too to show the richness of the Greek and the biblical text as we go. So verse 2, we're still in the introduction. The first word, as you hopefully have your Greek Bible open in eSword or BibleHub.com, is charis, Ephesians 1, verse 2. Charis is a very important word in Christianity in the church times. It means basically unmerited favor and is related most often to salvation. The fact that we did not merit salvation, none of us, it was given to us by grace through faith alone, our faith in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Grace from God. Now, it can mean a couple other things. One is grace, favor, or power, depending on who you read, in the Christian life. And here it also might mean, and this is controversial, a greeting. The Greeks would use charis or grace to say hello. And the word peace, which we'll look at in just a couple of minutes, meant hello in Hebrew. So perhaps Paul was being sensitive culturally to both the Greeks and Hebrews to whom he was writing, which were present in every city in the Greek world in the Roman Empire. So grace, and it's a feminine. You see, again, it has the root word. Remember, every word has a root and a ending. It ends in an R, so it's a third declension, a feminine third declension. So again, looking at your letter cheat notes by the word, it has an N for noun, N for nominative, the subject case, and S for singular, F for feminine. So this is in the nominative. There's really no hints in the third declension how to know if it's feminine. You just have to know. But this is a common word, so it'll be easy. Umen, next word, to you. You will see this so often. It's the a personal pronoun. It is in the dative plural, you plural, and that in ending is the plural ending that we would see for the third declension. So these are pronouns, demonstrative pronouns. Pronouns in general take the same ending as the third declension. Now, for all you geeks out there, grammar geeks, the third declension endings are really the same as the second declension endings, except remember that the second declension for the neuter or the masculine ends in an O. And in Greek, you typically don't have two vowels together. They tend to contract the two other vowels. I don't know why that's a contraction, or to one vowel. So for the second declension, there's a contraction that changes the ending. And we see this, a good example. Charis, umen, and then kai, irini, apo. You see theo, which we saw in the first verse. So you'll recognize that as God, theos, where we get the word theology. That ou ending is typical of the genitive. But the very next word, Patros is also genitive, but it's third declension. So that R, you're ending in a consonant, so it's third declension. So that OS is actually the real genitive ending. But if you put the OS on the root word, theo, that's Teoos, and that doesn't work in Greek. It contracts to OU, and the S is dropped. So that's how you get OU for the second declension and OS for the third declension. Clear as mud, right? We'll go over and over this. You'll get used to it. So, okay, chorus to you. Again, this is the dative, so it's directional to you. And kai just means and, as most common word in the New Testament. Irene. So here's our first feminine. Means peace. It's a general word for peace, like in English or other Western languages. Peace of mind, peace with God, peace between men, countries. Here, again, it may be meaning hello. So you have to think that through yourself. Words that end in an eta, as we see here, or an a, typically are feminine. It's not perfect, as anything is in Greek. Just like in Italian or Spanish, a ending words tend to be feminine. So this again is the nominative. And again, look at the first, it's in the first declension. These are first declension words. Look at the first declension endings. It's is, like as for the genitive, o for the dative, just like, or excuse me, a for the dative, and an for the nominative, or excuse me, accusative, the direct acting, direct object. So in is typical of the accusative case in Greek. Okay, so grace to you and peace from apo, another preposition, giving direction. Apo, things that come away from something, which apo describes, are typically genitive. So theo and patros are in the genitive. One's the second declension, ou, and one is that third declension, os. All right, so let's stop there. We have covered more about the second, good examples in the second and third declension, and introduced the first declension, which are the feminine words typified by eta or a. That's really an alpha. Again, I'm using the English descriptions of the Greek letters. Excuse me, they're just a lot shorter, and I'm lazy. Okay, we'll finish up verse 2 next time. Glad you're with me today. Remember, persistence. All this will become clear and natural over time. Hope it's a use to you. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.